break for just a second to show you the Day by Day Kids Bible. This is a Bible that goes in chronological order. In other words, it takes events in the order that they actually happened. Our Bibles are written in a traditional order, which means it's a mixed up order. You read about the prophets in the Bible, but they actually prophesied in a historical time that's covered earlier in 1st and 2nd Kings and 1st and 2nd Chronicles. So even as adults, it's hard for us to know, well, where did this prophet fit in, and why was he saying what he said? So this Bible takes it in order where you see the king and the historical event, and then right in with that you hear what the prophet said as he prophesied. Sometimes you'll read a psalm, and at the top of the psalm it says David wrote this psalm after the battle of such and such, or with the Ammonites or the Philistines or whoever. In this Bible, what you do is you read the battle that David fought, and right after that you read the psalm that he wrote in response to God's help during that battle. Jesus' life is told in order from his birth to his ascension. All the books are there. It's just that they're all taken in order. Now, there are some things that are left out of here because this is written at a 2nd grade reading level, and it's meant for kids in the elementary age. And it's divided into daily readings so that if a child reads one reading each day, they'll get through it in a whole year. I didn't put any genealogies in because see what happens is between the preschool pictured Bible storybook age and the elementary years, when the child is finished with his preschool storybook Bible, and some of these are like easy reader Bibles, so they can start reading them. When they first read, they can start reading these. What do they graduate to, though, after all that's done? And they're so proud that they've gotten through, and they're ready to read a real Bible. And we give them a Bible, and it says it's a children's Bible, but the print is really, really tiny, and it's in a mixed up order. And they start it and they go through Genesis, and that's pretty okay because there's some fun stories in Genesis, but you know what they get to then? The genealogies and these long laws a little bit further in there that they don't understand, they don't comprehend this, and they end up closing the Bible and saying, you know what? The Bible is hard and I don't understand it. And sometimes they don't open it up again because that's their understanding. It's a shame that that's the first idea that kids get of what the Bible is. Because the Bible isn't boring. They'll say, this is boring. Look at all these names and stuff in here. I don't understand. The Bible isn't boring. It's exciting. So the genealogies are left out. Anything that's overly violent, like the guy who cut up the concubine into so many parts and sent all the parts to the different parts of Israel, kids don't need to read that. It's not relevant to the flow of the story, so that part is left out. Anything that's of a sexual nature that elementary age children really wouldn't comprehend or don't need to be dealing with is not in there. Some of the longer laws or the more obscure laws that are not easy to understand are not in there, but the interesting laws like you don't eat bats and things like that, those are in there. This has been gone through by scholars at Tyndale Company to make sure that it's biblically correct. The words are just changed into where a 2nd grader can understand. Actually, a younger child can understand if it's read to him, but a 2nd grader can read it. Now, in the center there's a timeline, and on the top of the timeline it tells what was happening in the Bible. It gives you in order how things happened in the Bible and the prophets and the kings and what order they came in. But at the bottom of the timeline, it tells you what was happening in the rest of the world at the same time. In other words, when Daniel lived was about the same time that Aesop's fables were written. And so it lets children see that the Bible events did not happen in a vacuum, but they really were integrated into the whole world as things were happening in the other parts of the world as well. So this takes the Bible from Genesis through Revelation in a way that 2nd graders can understand it. And I'm saying it now because of the story-centered faith, because they're really keyed in to what are the Bible stories. How does God work with people today? Now, if you